Hello, I'm Patty Kennedy, and today we're going to look at the various elements of script writing and examine an example script as a model for how it all fits together. We have been talking a lot about your ideas and in particular your premise. Now it is time to sum up your story in one clear statement. In our example, the movie is about how two strangers can get away with murder. This is the log line. It is rather like a one-sentence pitch for your film. Following this is a short paragraph describing your story. This is a synopsis. This helps us to know your main characters and to come to understand the important details of your plot. In this case, we understand that both strangers have a problem, but only one thinks that murder is the answer. Now let's look at how the story starts. Fade in, long shot of the Capitol Dome in the background and an automobile entrance to the station in the foreground. To set this scene, the writer has given us the establishing shot so the viewer is orientated to the setting and we are focused on the cars arriving at the station. Into this, we then write what we see is happening. In this case, the brogues and the sports shoes are passing us separately. This is a description of the action. We focus on what we see on the screen. When writing scripts, the description of people needs to be succinct and focus on what is important for the viewer to understand. Your words are important in establishing the feel of each character. Remember, it's not a play. Lastly, the dialogue comes into play. In this case, the opening line of this character tells us much about himself. I certainly admire people who do things. There is a subtle inference that he does nothing. So, the elements we need in a script include plot, setting, character, action, and dialogue. Let's look again at the script to see how it is structured. The slug line helps us know where each scene is set. In page 1 of this script, we get both interior and exterior shots that together construct a journey from the wide shot of the setup at the station to the small interior of the train carriage where real action takes place. The writer has also given us information about what we see and how we see it. We're directed where to look and we're given other information that a director or cinematographer could use. There's also a final note to the editor. The dissolve tells us that time is passing. Now let's look at how the script has been set up to intrigue the audience. We only see the feet of our first subject. Feet and belongings. We know he plays tennis, but not who he is. The second character, also rich by the focus on his luggage, but again we see only his shoes. The writer has focused on the shoes as a description of the character, and we are left to follow and wonder about the owners through 4 more locations before finally the shoes meet. The script is called Strangers on a Train. It was written by famous crime writer Raymond Chandler and made into a film in 1951 by Alfred Hitchcock. Hitchcock positions the audience to appreciate the strangers aspect, for the audience knows nothing about these people. Bill posters from the movie reinforce the mystery. It's off the beaten track, suggests ordinary people would not go there, and it starts with the shriek of a train whistle and ends with the shriek of excitement. We're kept waiting to see these characters, and this contributes to the mood of this thriller. Let's get back to the script. The shoes finally touch. An interaction. The camera pulls out and we reveal our 2 main characters face to face. This is where those rich descriptive words help us know our 2 characters. Words like expensive, nonchalant, troubled, they help us picture what is there. There is tension between the expensive and how he could afford it, and the need for privacy versus recognition. All the talking is being done by one character. But in this opening speech, it also introduces us to the characters by name, so we know who we are dealing with and we see some of the differences in wealth and status. In 2 pages of this script, we have a good knowledge of many of the elements of the story, and the audience have had to work for that information and are now ready to understand more. Script writing is writing with pictures in mind, and it is about the positioning of the audience to come on that journey into the heart of the story. So let's look at setting up the script. In review, we have the opening of the movie, the slug line to establish location and time of day. This is followed by the description of the action, so we paint with pictures. When it is time to add dialogue, make sure it adds to the narrative or a sense of characterization. The characters' names are bolded, capitalized and centered. The dialogue is also indented or centered. You can add parentheses for specific direction, but try not to be too prescriptive. You may also add editing text to indicate how you would move from scene to scene. You've been sent a template to help you format your scripts correctly, so now it's time to get started. Good luck.